Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about the Chinese head tax and answer some questions. The Chinese head tax is a huge event that took place in the Canadian history of immigration. This all started when in the year 1881, the construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway that would connect eastern Canada to British of Columbia was in demand of laborers to build it, which led to a lot of Chinese immigrants coming to Canada to help in building the railway due to war and rebellion in China. They started their work in the year 1881, and after 4 years of hard work, they managed to finish in 1885. But over the period of the construction, more than 15,000 Chinese immigrants came to Canada, though Canadians didn't like this. So as soon as the project was finished, the Chinese immigrants were in need of other jobs, and the Canadians feared that they would steal theirs. Eventually, Sir John A. Macdonald, the Prime Minister of that time, didn't hesitate to take action as soon as possible to restrict the huge amount of immigrants coming from China. As a result, on July 28, 1885, the Chinese head tax was enacted, putting a $50 tax on an average Chinese immigrant entering Canada, which is equivalent to $1,341.65 in 2020. Even after the parliament raised the tax from $50 to $100, the Chinese immigration levels weren't decreasing. So they raised the tax to $500, which was enough to buy 2 homes back then. The thing to keep in mind here is that an average Chinese laborer only earned $300 a year and saved a modest $43 after living expenses. Though there were some exemptions to the tax. An example would be Chinese women married to a non-Chinese man. Unfortunately, in 1923, the government passed a new act which banned Chinese immigrants from coming into Canada completely. For 24 years, Chinese immigrants had no way of entering Canada, and they also had to buy a new proof of ID proving that they lived in Canada before the Exclusion Act was placed. Finally, in 1947, the act was finally ended, leaving a history of 62 years of racism towards one singular nation. Over that time, around 82,000 Chinese immigrants paid nearly $23 million in tax. Now let's go over our 5 W's and answer them. Number 1. Who did this case affect? This case affected the Chinese immigrants that were trying to come to Canada. Number 2. What is this case about? This case is about the Chinese head tax that was enacted to restrict Chinese immigrants from coming into Canada. Number 3. What human rights are being violated? According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 3 rights are being violated in this case. Number 1. The law is the same for everyone. It must treat us all fairly. This is because only Chinese immigrants were forced to pay the head tax and not any other group of people. Number 2. Nobody has any right to hurt us or to torture us. This is because Canada mentally tortured Chinese immigrants by raising the head tax as time passed. And number 3. If we are frightened of being badly treated in our own country, we all have the right to run away to another country to be safe. This is because Chinese immigrants were in a situation of danger because of wars and rebellions going on in China, and they had the right to go to Canada without any restrictions. Moving on, question number 4. Where did this take place? This took place in the country of Canada. Question 5. When did this occur and for how long did it go on for? This occurred in the year 1885 and ended in the year 1947. Question number 6. How was this resolved, and if not, how might you resolve this? The problem was resolved when Prime Minister Stephen Harper formally apologized to a community that came to Canada in a large number to help build the railway. Though still many Chinese immigrants have a sour spot when it comes to celebrating the country of Canada. This is because they weren't allowed to celebrate Canada Day due to the day being called Humiliation Day when the acts were in place. Question number 7. What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is you shouldn't take advantage of the weaknesses of others. This is because China was having wars and rebellions at that time, and they didn't have any way out except to go to Canada to work and live a peaceful life. But Canada in return took advantage and placed the law of head tax, which increased as time passed. I hope this video was informative to you. If you liked the video, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.